My name is Elena. I am 27 years old. I come from a small town in Romania, but now I live in a busy city far from home. Today, I want to tell you a very special story. Please listen to the full story. You will learn English. You will feel many emotions, and you may even cry a little. But in the end, your heart will smile that it was early morning. The sun was just waking up. I stood near the window, holding a small cup of tea. The city was quiet. Only a few birds were singing. I was thinking about life. I was thinking about how I came here and why I felt so empty inside. My life was not always easy. I grew up in a small house with my grandmother. My parents left when I was 5. They went to work in another country and never came back. My grandmother raised me with love. She had very little money, but she gave me everything she had: warm food, bedtime stories, and hugs that made me feel safe. I remember one cold night. I was about 7 years old. The wind was strong. Our roof had a hole, and the rain came inside. I was afraid. I said, "Grandma, the water is coming in. What if the roof falls?" She smiled and held me close. "Elena, my little bird," she said softly, "as long as we are together, no storm can break us." Her words stayed in my heart. When I turned 18, I left my town. I wanted a better life. I wanted to learn English. I wanted to become someone people could be proud of. I remember crying at the train station. My grandmother gave me a small bag and a letter. She said, "Don't open the letter until you feel very lost." I came to the city with big dreams, but life was not like I imagined. People were busy. Everyone spoke fast. I felt shy. I didn't understand many words. Sometimes I cried at night. Sometimes I thought of going back. But I remembered my grandmother's eyes, her warm hands, her smile. I stayed to earn money. I started cleaning houses. It was not my dream job, but it was honest work. Every house had its own story. Some were full of noise and children. Some were quiet and cold. One day, I met an old man named Mr. Collins. He was 80 years old and very lonely. "Do you want tea?" he asked me one day after I cleaned his kitchen. "Yes, thank you," I said. He poured tea and looked at me. "Where are you from?" he asked. "I'm from Romania," I said. He smiled. "You speak good English." "No," I laughed. "I try. But it's hard. Everything is hard at first." He said, "When I was young, I could not walk after an accident. But now look at me, I can make tea." We laughed. That day, I stayed longer. He told me about his wife who passed away, and his dog that ran away. His stories made me cry and smile at the same time. From that day, I visited him every Friday. We spoke in English. I learned new words. He listened with care. I told him about my grandmother, my town, and my dream to work in a school. One day. You have a teacher's heart, he told me once. Those words were magic. No one ever told me that before. Time passed. I took English classes at night. I practiced speaking with anyone who would listen at the shop, at the bus stop, even in the mirror. One day, I saw a job post in a cafe window. It said, "Looking for part-time English helper for kids." My heart beat fast. I took a photo of the post. I walked home and read it again and again. I was scared. I thought, what if they laugh at my English? What if I fail? I sat on my bed and remembered the letter from my grandmother. I took it out. "Dear Elena," it said, "if you are reading this, maybe life feels heavy. Maybe your heart is tired. But remember, you are strong. You are kind. You are my bright star. Shine, even when it's dark." I cried. I felt her hand in her words. The next day, I walked into the cafe. A woman stood behind the counter. She smiled and said, "Yes, I saw the post about helping kids learn English." I said slowly, "Yes." She said, "Do you have experience?" "I have a big heart," I said, "and I love teaching. I am still learning English, but I can try." She looked at me. I thought she would say no, but she smiled again and said, "Come tomorrow at 4. Let's try one class." I couldn't believe it. I ran home and danced in my room the next day. I met 6 small children. They were noisy and funny. At first, I was nervous, but then I remembered Mr. Collins and his tea. I remembered my grandmother's bedtime stories. I smiled and said, "Hello, everyone. My name is Elena. I am your new friend." The children laughed. One girl said, "You talk like my doll." I laughed too. Week after week, I taught them simple English. Colors, numbers, songs, stories. They taught me how to be brave. They were not afraid of mistakes. They just tried and laughed and tried again. And slowly, I changed. I smiled more. I spoke better English. I walked taller. I felt like I had a home again. One day, I called my grandmother. Her voice was weak. "Elena," she said, "I miss you." "I miss you too," I said. "Guess what? I'm teaching kids now." "I knew you would," she whispered. "You always had the light." I sent her some money. Not much, but enough to fix the roof. She cried on the phone and said, "You are my rainbow." Some months later, Mr. Collins passed away. I went to his house. His son gave me a small box. Inside was a photo of me and him drinking tea. There was also a note. "To Elena, my student and my teacher, keep helping the world. Love, Mr. C." I cried and hugged the box. Now, I live in a small room above the cafe. I teach more kids. I help mothers learn simple English. I read stories every night. Sometimes, I write my own stories. People ask me, Elena, how did you learn English? I smile and say, with tears, tea, and love. Learning English is not just about words. It is about courage. It is about heart. It is about never giving up. You, too, can learn. Don't be afraid. Speak. Even if your voice shakes. Ask questions. Listen to stories. Repeat. Try again. You will grow. And always remember, someone out there is waiting to hear your story. If my story touched your heart, please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. Your support helps me share more beautiful and true stories. Stories that teach you English. Stories that touch your soul. Stories that remind us all we are not alone.